P, B, and J. Those letters call a certain flavor to mind, right? In fact, you can probably taste it right now. But why is it that so many flavor combinations are just classic and natural? Ice cream and cake, hot wings and beer, cheese and crackers. Today, we're going to answer that question and hopefully teach you how to be a little more confident in the kitchen as well. So why is it that these certain pairings just are so classic and tasty? Well, part of its texture. Opposites often attract, and in the culinary world, that's no different. But the greater impact is from the proper and balanced use of flavors. Your tongue, and mine, is only capable of detecting 5 basic tastes: bitter, salty, sour, sweet, and savory, or umami. If you've ever put a bite of food in your mouth and instantly wanted to spit it out, chances are it contained too much of one of these tastes, or only one altogether. At Dishing Out, we try to show you balanced and versatile dishes that are complex in flavor, but not in technique. And while expertly executing a chicken roulade or proper plate of fish and chips might make you look like a kitchen wizard for a day, we can get you a lot further down the path of being a confident and competent home cook by teaching you how to understand flavor profiles and how to build dishes that are balanced and packed with all the right flavors. So, let's get right to it. We should start by understanding what each taste is and some key ingredients that typify each one. First, there's bitter. Have you ever accidentally bitten down on a pain pill? Yeah, that's bitter. But some things you actually are supposed to eat are equally bitter. Black coffee, many leafy greens, citrus peel, and even coca. The key ingredient in your favorite candy bar is decidedly not sweet in its natural state. But why does it taste so bad on its own? Well, it's an evolved poison control measure. Many substances that are truly harmful or even deadly taste bitter, and your tongue is like the last line of defense in a war against a cruel and indifferent world. Salty? Well, there's salt, of course. But aside from a seasoning, salt is of course a mineral, and it's present in many environments. And for this reason, you can get salty flavors from many things. Any food that's been exposed to a saline environment is liable to have a salty punch. Oysters and other shellfish, brine food like capers and olives among them. Sour flavors make your lips pucker due to acids in the food. Some are naturally occurring, like citrus juices and the fermented yeast in a sourdough bread, or the cultures in yogurt. Others come from the byproducts of human intervention in things like vinegar or fermented foods like pickles and kimchi. And then of course there's reverse sugar on candy, like my favorite, Sour Patch Kids. Yeah, reverse sugar. It's a thing. Sweet flavors exist on your palate for one particularly good reason. Sugars provide energy and are an essential part of the human diet. As we evolved, tasting sweet things was a sign that we were eating essential and energizing foods. Unfortunately, at least for our waistlines, we quickly discovered how to refine sugar from natural sources soon after the dawn of agriculture. This has led to an overabundance of sugar in many of our diets. But of course, there's still occasion for a nice slice of cake or bowl of ice cream. Finally, we have savory, or as the Japanese refer to it, umami. It comes to us by way of amino acids, and in particular glutamic acid or glutamates. These acids are commonly found in mushrooms, soy products, tomatoes, the crusty bits on the outside of seared or grilled meat, or in a pinch, monosodium glutamate or MSG. Glutamates allow us to make a vegan burger with all the satisfaction of a beefy bite, and they are why even if all you have is tap water, you should never, not ever, waste the fond on the bottom of a pan or pot. Great food may only combine 2 of these flavors, or it may expertly apply all 5. Perfectly balanced, of course, as all things should be. But understanding how that balance is achieved is the key. Foods that are rich in savory or sweet flavors need balance from salty or sour notes. It's why the best chocolate chip recipes, and indeed most baking recipes, call for salt, and why a fatty ribeye tastes even better with a dollop of vibrant chimichurri. Foods that are salty often call for a sour note to counteract the salt, like a dash of vinegar on some chips or fries, or a fresh squeeze of lemon on a crisp piece of fish or raw oyster. Foods that are bitter need some help from sweet notes. Sugar sprinkled on a fresh grapefruit, half anyone? I could go on and on and on, but the few of you still with me would probably leave. So, ultimately, you're going to have to do what the very title of this video recommends. Use your palate. Taste your food. Seriously, tasting for seasoning is one important thing. Salt is not optional, folks. But taste your food to see what it tastes like as you cook. At first, maybe you'll just think something's off. So What's missing? What needs to be added? Add something to enhance the missing elements or counteract the odious ones. Sure, you may end up adding lemon to a cream sauce, causing it to break, or find out that leaving seeds in a serrano is a recipe for a serious tongue scorching. But you'll learn. You'll learn what you like and don't, what works well together and what doesn't. Buy new ingredients, cook new dishes. Eventually, challenge yourself to cook without consulting a recipe at all, but by combining a few ingredients and flavors you know that you like and play well together. I want to be clear. I have no issue with recipes or following them. Well, maybe a little bit of an issue with that last part, sometimes. But they have a place. And it's why ever since season 2, we've attached written dish guides with each video. I use the term intentionally. Recipes should be a guide. Often before filming a video, I'll watch 10 others or read 5 to 10 recipes. In the comments too, if it's a blog post. I want to see generally what people agree should be in a dish, see what unique dishes some folks use, and the feedback from people who've made it. Then, develop my own recipe, dish guide, based on testing what I like and don't like from everything I've consumed, both literally and figuratively. Now I know you aren't meticulously researching chicken tikka masala in preparation of filming a Tuesday dinner, but you can still use the same approach. Check a few recipes online, see what sounds or looks good to you, and then go be you in the kitchen. Being slavishly tied to an exact recipe is like never taking the training wheels off of a bike. Sure, it's safe, but you don't know all the fun or flavor you're missing. People have said to me, I made your dish and it was good, but I used this for that, or added this, or left this out. Cool. I hope that no one ever feels the need to be tied down to an exact written recipe. It's a lot more fun when you do your own thing. Lest this get too self-involved, we can wrap up this discussion with another important point which I have so far omitted. Flavors, or more accurately, ingredients, are not the only factor that affects taste. Technique plays a huge, equally important role in how the final product you put on a plate is going to taste. We've touched on things like building a fond for a pan sauce, the fact that brown food tastes good before, but there's more than that. You can put all the right things into a pot, but if they aren't cut the right way, or if they're cooked too long or not long enough, etc., you may still wind up with a pretty underwhelming meal. This is why I think video recipes and cooking videos on YouTube and cooking shows on TV are so vital, whether you're looking for dinner inspiration or trying to hone technique, or both. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So a video's gotta be worth at least 1,000,000. You can learn so much more quickly by watching someone execute kitchen technique. Do you know how to cut a chicken into 8 or 10 pieces? I mean, I could show you in probably 2 minutes or less, but if I had to write all the steps down, frankly, I don't think I'd bother. It's just too tedious when we have such better options available to us. So, whether you're still in school for your sandwich license, or you think you could cook circles around Gordon Ramsay and Thomas Keller combined with your eyes closed, my message to you is the same. If you want to up your kitchen and cooking game, then get in the kitchen, cook, experiment, practice, and taste your food constantly. Oh, and watch videos like these.